Welcome to Beyond the Headlines on the WNBD Plus app, where we break down today's local news stories with our very own reporters. I'm Brianna Rittman.
And I'm Alex Berger. Today's big stories are a special report on the health effects of weight loss drugs. Then we're going to talk about local reaction to the president's State of the Union address.
And then finally, the science behind why shoes squeak on the basketball court.
Yeah. But our first local story of the day, GLP-1s have been all the craze as the magic weight loss drug.
And WNBD's Austin Feeman joins us now from Studio B in Bloomington to give us a look into the world of GLP-1s. So Austin, please explain for those who may not know, what are GLP-1s?
Yes, thank you, Alex. Thank you, Brianna. So basically, to give you a simple answer, GLP-1s are a medication that you can take by injection to help you lose weight with fat loss, or it can help manage diabetes. Now, some examples of this medication are Ozempic, Mounjaro, Wegovy, Zepbound. All of those are examples of GLP-1s. And I know Ozempic has definitely been one that social media loves to make jokes about. So yeah, it's really just a weight loss drug that has taken the internet by storm as this magic injection that you can take and you will just lose weight like that. But unfortunately, that is not the case. Now, this medication is not for everyone. Not everyone is able to take this medication, and it really depends on your own situation. And even then, the drug is not even enough to help you lose that weight.
Well, Austin, I'm seeing all these commercials all the time for different GLP-1s, and there's just so many advertisements about it everywhere. So why are they such a craze right now? Yeah,
so really, the internet has taken this and kind of advertised it as this magic weight loss drug, like I was mentioning earlier. But in reality, it's really not as magic as everyone is making it seem. There's a lot more that goes into this medication than just injecting yourself once a week. So it really was kind of exploded on social media and commercials and marketed as this magic drug to lose weight, but in reality it really is not. There's a lot more that goes into it, and one of those things is a healthy lifestyle, and there's a lot of things that go into a healthy lifestyle, like diet, exercise, behavioral changes, all sorts of different things go into this, and that you have to do for the medication to be effective. It's not just take the drug and lose weight. There's also some severe side effects that come with it, like nausea, headaches. You'll lose your appetite. You just won't want to eat anymore. Like I said earlier, basically GLP-1s, essentially they slow down the gastrointestinal tract, which then slows down your whole system, which then sends signals to your brain telling you you're full, not to eat anymore. So it's essentially, there's a lot that goes into it, and the medication is definitely something that works, but not without other outside factors.
Now, then you have given us so much information, but just in case we have some more questions, how can someone learn more information?
Yeah, so if you are wanting to learn some more information, you can tune in to WNBD News at 10 tonight, where I will have a special report on GLP-1s, really going in depth about what GLP-1s are and the truth behind them. You can also head to our website, ciproud.com, right after that, and learn even more information about GLP-1s, taking an even deeper dive into what these medications do in your body.
Well, thank you, Austin, for breaking it down for us. Yeah, right. Now, here's a story that's got Alex and I possibly planning a road trip instead of booking a flight. Now, a passenger on Spirit Airlines brought their emotional support chicken on the plane, but it's not what you think.
Wow. It was a cooked rotisserie chicken, actually. You can see they put it in a clear bubble pet carrier and ran it through TSA screening.
Now, in May of last year, a woman named Chloe Gray brought a rotisserie chicken on a plane as her carry-on. She said she felt anxious having to go hours without a meal, so the pre-bagged rotisserie chicken was the obvious go-to dinner.
Now, while some online have complained about the idea, the TSA says, yeah, you actually can bring an entire rotisserie chicken on the plane. How passengers decide to carry it is a personal preference. That's so weird.
I don't see I mean, I would have probably have carried it in that container, but hey, if she got like, especially like an international flight or something, and
Yeah.
you just, the meal's not.
I can see that.
A
Well, she did say Spirit.
Oh
So-
yeah, it's Spirit. But
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't want to go, so she got the rotisserie chicken. Because food is allowed. You got to know what is allowed, how to package, get around it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she's not wrong. It wasn't like it was seafood. And I love seafood, but I understand seafood in close quarters
On a plane.
is not the best. So,
Yeah.
a rotisserie chicken, you know, okay, girl. Hopefully the plane has mashed potatoes to go along with it or something.
Some corn.
Right, some corn or something, so it would be too bad.
Yeah. Not too bad.
Now, when we come back on Beyond the Headlines, Alex is going to stay in the hot seat to talk about local reaction to the State of the Union address. We'll be back. Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines on the WMBD Plus app. Our next story of the day, an area professor is providing analysis after last night's State of the Union address. Alex is in the hot seat now, so tell us more. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so last night's State of the Union address was the longest State of the Union address in this country's history,
Wow.
sitting at just under an hour and 48 minutes. Now, a lot of people have rounded up. It was 20 seconds less than that, but more so the analysis of what actually was in the address. I spoke to Assistant Professor of Political Science, Megan Remmel, at Bradley University.
Okay.
She talked about the speech was kind of broken up into three parts. The first part was what she basically said was kind of sort of boasting about different accomplishments and different things that he claims has had, done over the last year. The second part was a lot of partisan attacks. So a lot of calling out directly to the Democratic Party or to Republican officials who have either taken action or spoken out against President Trump. And then the third part of the speech, Remmel said, was, in her words, what she said was an attempt at a unity speech. So kind of a lot of different aspects of this speech than we've seen in past State of the Union speeches, even from President Trump himself. So there was kind of some new elements that we aren't fully used to that were on display in last night's speech.
Now, how does this address compare to, I mean, they already broke a record.
Right.
But how does it compare to previous presidencies?
Right. Well, on the speech itself, we're not, totally void of long speeches.
Right.
Actually, Bill Clinton, he would go an average over an hour for each of his speeches. President Trump averages about an hour and 14 minutes.
Okay.
So this one was on the longer side of speeches. But on the other side, we also have not seen, as far as the partisan attacks, we haven't seen direct naming of certain parties. A lot of what Remmel said is the presidencies before this have called out different, people, but it was a lot more vague. It was a lot more like my friends or my colleagues on the other side have opposed this or they've said this. This was a lot more direct naming to, as I mentioned, the Democratic Party and Republican officials who have either spoken out or gone against President Trump. And it made for just kind of a unique State of the Union address like that I mentioned we really haven't seen before.
Okay, now, with all this information
Yep.
and breaking records and whatnot, what
Right.
does this mean for the future of the State of the Union addresses?
Well, yeah, Remmel basically said and broke it down that this was kind of almost political theater. That's kind of what the State of the Union has kind of turned into. It's a lot of pomp and circumstance to where there is, medal awarding, there is people standing up and cheering, there is this, there's a lot of elements to it to where it's required by the constitutional law to have it, but it used to just be a paper written to Congress until about the 1960s when it kind of switched over to being an actual speech on TV in front of people. But Remmel says she wouldn't be surprised if this actually moved back to being a paper speech to
Okay.
where a president in the next 20 years would just write it up and hand it to Congress. So we aren't totally sure if it moves away from this format or if it, stays to be a different format. Who knows?
All right. Well, thank you, Alex, for breaking that down.
Thank you.
Now, here's a story that calls for some celebration. Like in the tortoise and the hare, sometimes slow and steady wins the race. That's what the Peoria Zoo says, as their beloved Aldabra tortoise.
Yep.
Ironically, George is celebrating his 86th birthday. He probably has like another 40, 50 years to go, right?
Exactly, yeah. George enjoys slow strolls, leafy greens, sunny basking sessions, and charming guests at the zoo.
His breed is among the largest tortoise species in the world and are known to live a long time.
Yes, they are. George actually got to enjoy a, quote, cake with watermelon base, sweet potato frosting. Now, of course, he had to be a little skeptical. He had to inspect it, but he did end up loving it.
I love both those things. I don't think I would like them together.
Look at him. Look at him chomping down. But he had a birthday party, I guess, with another guest there, as you can see. I think it's really cool. Obviously, the Aldabra tortoise is known to be one of the longest living species of tortoise that there is. So, to your point, he's kind of at midlife.
Right.
86.
Just getting started.
Exactly. Exactly. Right. He's kind of entering his grandpa stage, right? But he is, still got what could be another 30, 35 years, which is incredible. So, yeah, I mean, we love animals here on the program. All right, we got one more story for you. When we return on Beyond the Headlines, the science behind squeaky shoes on the basketball court. We will be right back.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines, our last story of the day. For those who love basketball, squeaky sneakers moving around the court may be music to the ears.
Got that right. One basketball fan and researcher recently set out to find out why that very familiar high-pitched sound happens in the first place.
Harvard scientist Adele DeJuly began to consider the question as he watched a Boston Celtics game.
Yeah, in his research, Jaluli and a few colleagues slid a sneaker against a smooth glass plate again and again. They recorded the squeaks with a microphone, filming with a high-speed camera to see what was happening under that shoe.
Eventually, they reached the academic equivalent of a slam dunk with their findings published Wednesday in the journal Nature.
Squeaking is basically your shoe rippling or your shoe creating wrinkles that travel super fast and they repeat at a high frequency, high cadence. And this is why you get this squeaking noise. It turned out to be much deeper than that and allowed us to look into the depths of the universe under the sole of a shoe.
That is just brilliant. The scientists discovered that as the shoe works hard to keep its grip, tiny sections of the sole actually change shape as they momentarily lose, then regain contact with the floor thousands of times per second.
Now, this happens at a frequency that matches the pitch of the loud squeak that we hear.
That is absolutely incredible. I want to know how those ideas spark because even my mom she loves to nap and basketball is like a perfect nap thing for her because of the squeaking. The other one is obviously golf. I love watching golf and my mom loves to nap. It's a perfect pairing. But the thing is basketball squeaking is, I feel like, gotten more frequent now. And I think it's because of how the soles of the shoes are made. Because if you look under a basketball shoe, there's certain ridges that are made, and it's all very unique to each shoe, depending on the signature shoe or whatever. But I mean, back in the day when they were playing in Chuck Taylors, you know what I mean? That was just like, they had like the waffle on the bottom, but it's different now.
Okay, Alex, go ahead and breaking it down for us.
I actually wanted to be a shoe designer for a long time until I was.
You have lived many lives.
Until I did not become that because my sister is a much greater artist than I. And so I left that to her. Well, before we go, Tuesday was actually a very special anniversary. 2 years ago, an event was held in the UK that went viral for all the wrong reasons.
Now, this was what the Willy Wonka-inspired chocolate experience was supposed to look like in Glasgow, Scotland.
That's right. Visitors were promised incredible photo opportunities in a, quote, paradise of sweet treats. Instead, they got a dingy warehouse with cheap posters on the walls and some actors in strange costumes.
Now, the police ended up shutting the event down, and guests got refunds. The whole disaster took over the internet and became the newest, I was about to say, Fyre Fest.
Yeah. I will say, at least they didn't get like stranded there and like totally, yeah. I mean, I think this is one of those instances. See, that doesn't look too bad. That part wasn't too bad, but I mean, it's overall ridiculous. But I think it's an equivalent of like, you know, where like you order something online or you see somebody order something online and it is actually like way smaller than what it's supposed to be, or
not fitting in all the right places.
Exactly, or it's like a weird like print style on your shirt, but
Wrong
it's like
fabric.
that's what you ordered.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's really funny. I cannot believe it's been 2 years since this happened. But that happened around.
Do you remember The Unknown?
What?
The Unknown, with the guy with the mask on in The Unknown.
I don't.
He was black. He was covering black garments, she said. Do you know that one?
I don't
Sorry,
remember that.
Riley. We love you, but.
Oh, wait. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes.
Coming.
Yes. Sorry. I do remember The Unknown. Yes. Now I remember.
Similar? Okay.
Yes. Very much so. Very, very much so.
Well, thank you for joining us for today's Beyond the Headlines.
You can find all these stories and more over on our website, ciproud.com, except for The Unknown. Sorry.
For breaking news and weather updates 24/7, log on to ciproud.com and download the free CI Proud to Go mobile app.